the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
Greetings, mere mortals, and welcome back to Monster Month. We're kinda running out of monsters here, so this week things are gonna be a bit different.
We'll be running down the top 5 best monster figures in G.I.Joe!
Yes, only 5.
Because most monster toys, well, they were either bad or average. And like Timmer has often said when it comes to lists like these, average isn't meant to be negative. An average figure is perfectly fine, it just doesn't stand out.
And yes, true believers, later this month you will be getting a list of the worst monsters. I wouldn't deprive you of that.
Also, I've already reviewed every figure on this list, so you can search the channel for a full video on each one. I've deliberately not looked at any old review just so I wouldn't be influenced by my own old opinions.
So now, let's look at the top 5 best ones.
Number 5. Venomous Maximus. There are 2 reasons this figure made the list. For one thing, he looks awesome. And for another, the character is very interesting and tragic. You see, this guy is actually a mutated General Hawk, whose body and mind have been warped to serve Cobra. Just imagine it, being trapped inside a monster shell, forced to attack your own friends, being helpless to stop yourself. Also, his monstrous arm looks amazing, and the cape hiding it adds more to the character. Is he hiding it because he's ashamed of it? Or because he wants to keep such a powerful weapon hidden to surprise his enemies?
Either interpretation works.
So Venomous Maximus deserves a spot on this list. Number 4. Hydro Viper. Spoiler warning, but this is the only figure from the original toy line on the list.
Because let's face it, most of the other monsters from that time sucked.
The Hydro Viper, or Sea Devil as he's known in Dutch, is cool though. Like with the previous entry, it's the story as much as the figure. He's been surgically altered for optimal underwater combat, including giving him webbing between his fingers. The long-term effects of these procedures are known to make them insane, adding flavor to the character. And with his accessories, the gruesome helmet and fins, he looks positively Lovecraftian. And for those reasons, he's on the list, representing the classic toy line. Number 3. Nemesis Enforcer.
No, not that one!
I meant the modern version, obviously. The modern line gets a lot of criticism, and rightfully so. But you can't deny they really nailed it when it came to Nemesis Enforcer, making him look actually intimidating. And yes, for the purpose of this video, I'm ignoring that this character is technically called Nemesis Immortal because that's just stupid. This figure proves you can make even the worst concepts, in this case Cobra-La, and make something great out of it.
And we're not even done with that yet.
Number 2. Pythona. Yes, half the battle is praising Cobra-La.
If that doesn't prove 2020 is the end times, nothing will.
But I cannot deny this is one cool and deadly looking figure. This Venomous Vixen is a welcome addition to any collection, especially since G.I.Joe can always use more female characters. That's why it's a damn shame this figure was a Collector's Club exclusive. From the detailing on the figure to the overall mysterious look, she could be any character you want, not just from Cobra-La. Maybe she's a vampire, or a succubus, or something else.
You decide.
And the #1 best monster figure in G.I. Joe is the Zombie Viper. Okay, I said I didn't look at old reviews so I wouldn't be influenced, but considering this figure was last week's episode,
It may shock you to learn that my opinion hasn't really changed that much.
of all the monsters in the G.I. Joe line, this one looks most like what he's supposed to be, a zombie, and he looks absolutely terrific. Or should I say terrorific. The attention to detail, as well as the whole concept, it's all very well done. So it deserves the #1 spot. And we've had this figure for close to a year, so it's not just a favorable impression of a new toy.
It has stood the test of time.
I could go on, but I'd just be repeating what I said in last week's review, and you've all seen that. And if you haven't, you really should. We discuss farts and everything. And that was the list of my top 5 best monster figures in G.I. Joe.
Do let us know in the comment section below what your own favorite monsters from G.I. Joe are. Don't turn the comment section into a graveyard. And, like, share, and subscribe and all of that. Unless you want to be put on a list of worst monsters too.
They did the mash,
They did the Monster Man.
the monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
One of the Pythona photos didn't come out quite the way I had expected, so I think I accidentally created some art here.